Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel The Python Gurukul. Today we'll be talking about list comprehension in detail. We'll be going through basic definition of list comprehension and syntax, and we'll be talking about why we need list comprehension at all. Also, we'll be doing some comparison with the for loop, then we'll be exploring nested list comprehension and how we can add some logic in it. And at the end, we'll be talking about which are some places where we should not be using list comprehension at all. So let's get started. And we'll start with the basic syntax of the list comprehension. We'll start list comprehension with the list, and then we can have expression. We'll be having for, item, and sequence. So we are saying that we'll be running the for loop on this sequence. Whatever item we get from the sequence, we can use the item and write some expression. So in one line, we are running the for loop, and we are having some expression on the for loop itself. In this example, we can see that we are running the for loop from 1 to 11. Whatever value we are getting from the range, it is in the value, and we are just using the value in our expression. And in this example, we are just doing the power 2 of the value. So at the end of this comparison, we'll get nice, beautiful list with the power of number between 1 to 10 or 1 to 11. Okay, so let's go to the broader picture and talk about why we need list comprehension at all. So first and best answer is it is a Pythonic. This is how Python got very much popular. Like we can start writing a long code in just line, in just command line, and you can do the triage. So that's the beauty of the Python. Also, it said that it is more declarative than for loops. Okay. Also, it is time efficient and space efficient. We have already have the classes how we can get to know the program is time efficient or not. Same thing with the space. We have already recorded video number maybe 16 and 17. So if you have not watched the video, please go through the list and look for the memory and the time measurement video. Let's Also, the another thing to add here is that require fewer lines of the code. In just one line, we are doing what we want to do. Again, we are just transforming iterative statements into a formula. It is very easily we can update and we can have another set of output. Also, single tool for many scenario. So I think we have lots of benefits. So we should be learning in detail. Let's start with the comparing. So here I've got one nice for loop. I want the squares from 1 to 11. I have to define the square, run the for loop, and do the append. So a lot of things is happening here. If I have to do the same thing with the list comprehension, I'm going to do the in one line. Again, we have the for loop running for the range. Whatever we get, we're just doing the power, and we don't have to do the append. Already result is getting inbuilt inside the list, and at the end, we have nice, beautiful list of the squares. So that's how we see that we don't have to have the multiple lines. And if we need to change the range, we can just go and change the range. If you want to add another expression, we can do it here. But moral of the story is that everything is happening in just one line. Also, we can add some more power to the nested list. And we can have nested list inside the list comprehension. That's what we are doing here. So for one part, this particular is the expression, and then we are running the for loop on the range 1 to 6. Once we got the expression, again expression, we are expanding and using another list comprehension. So whatever we got, we are just multiplying with I, and again we are running another loop here. So this way we can have nested as much as we want, but it gets complicated. But for this one, we got table of um, numbers from 1 to 5. That's what we wanted. And these all things happen in just one go. Another very important and things to know about the if condition could be added inside the nested. So all the syntax stay as it is, expression, for loop, but at the end we can add some check on the element. We can say that if condition met, then go for the expression. That's what we are doing. We want the square of only the even numbers. We can have some condition for the same. We are saying that pick up the value, look for the value. If it is divisible by 2 and remainder is 0, then only use the number for the square. And once the number condition met, we are passing the number and we are doing the expression. And at the end, this is what we got. So now let's talk about which are the some places where we should not be using list comparison at all. So first is if we don't want our result in the form of list. Let's say we have some multiple comparison and we don't want in the list, then don't use the list comparison at all. Some places we need to add some comments, then this is not a good thing to use. Another good example could be complex logic. If we have several logic, if we are doing if else condition, then it's not advisable to use. So this could be one example. This could be the another example where we need to add some comments so that the readers can get to know that what we are doing. So if any of these situation occurs, we should avoid using list comprehension. So let's now bring our code and do some hands-on on the code itself. So now we are going to try to play with a couple of examples and we'll start with a very basic one. Before that, I'm going to comment remaining part of the program and we'll start with our first line. This is what we just looked at. We have for loop running range from 1 to 11 where 11 is not inclusive, so it will run from 1 to 10. Whatever 1 to 10 we got, we'll be passing to the value and we are doing this square. Once we got the list created, we are storing into the squares and at the end we are printing the square to check that whatever we have created, it is available. So let's run the program, list comprehension, and let's see. This is what we got. So we got 1 power, 2 power, and so on till 10. Let's go comment this one and take a look at another example. Here we are saying we want to do the nested list comprehension. So we have one for loop here. Whatever value we are retrieving from the j, we want to use that value j and run another for loop. So this one could become expression, and inside the expression again we are expanding and having the another nested um, list comprehension. And this time we are running the loop for I. We got the I from here, we got the j from here, and then we are just for all j, we'll be running this particular loop and we'll be getting I multiplied by j. So let's go ahead, collect all the data inside the tables, and this is going to be nested list, and we are just printing here. So let's save the program, go back to the command line, and run the program once again. And this is what we got. So we are just kind of first we got the 1, we did multiplication from 1 to 10, and again we got the 2, we did the same thing for 2, and so on. That's very handy. Let's go and take a look of our another example, and this time we want to use the if condition inside. What we are doing, we want the power of all the values in this range, but we don't want the power of the odd number. So we have just added some condition here. We are saying if value remainder 2 equal to 0, only then allow the expression to be executed. So for for all the values in this range, we are checking for the condition. If the condition meet, we want to do the expression, and that's what is happening. So at the end, we'll have the squares for only the number which meets this criteria. So let's save this program, go back to the code, and run once again. And this is what we got, the 1, but 1 is not satisfying the condition, so 1 will be not going there. Let's go for 2. Yes, 2 divide by 2 equal to 0, and then 2 goes for the power 2, and we got the 4, and same thing will be going on. So that's all I had for today. If you like my video, please share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.